Alright, well, we did our test and tuning today, and everything's working out really well. So, I have a leaking fuel line right at the carburetor. Right where it looks like there's a black line right there. Let's see, right there. It's just like weeping. It's like a sponge right there. That fuel line's terrible. So, I have the time. I'm going to attempt to pull that shroud and replace the fuel line. I might even bypass that primer bulb. I doubt I really need it because usually when I open that petcock right there, it starts weeping pretty much instantly. So I know it's flowing fuel just fine. I think that's just a deep winter thing. Oops, excuse me, hiccups. That's a deep winter thing. So I did check the starter, and it just makes a bunch of noise, but it doesn't actually roll it over. So this has to come off anyways. So I'll most likely yank the starter while I'm at it. And yeah, I think that's about it. Things are coming apart all right. I've got to get that air cleaner off, and then I hope to be able to just remove that throttle control and get it out of the way. And then that cable needs to come off where I screwed it to the shroud, and then just unbolt the thing. It should all come out pretty easy. Well, check that out. Something I learned today is that primer is just a little vacuum pump onto the carb. So that had nothing to do with the fuel line, and I most likely could have just chased a new fuel line through, but it's apart now. That gave me an opportunity to make sure this is clean and there's good cooling in there, and I'm happy with that. So next thing, since I have all of this apart, I feel like I need to move that kill switch wire. I guess it's not a switch at all. This kill wire I just ground out, but if it's all the way up here, I might as well just run an actual ground, maybe even from the starter button, just some type of a kill that I can operate from the dash, because I can reach that starter from sitting down. So if I need to shut it off for a minute, all I gotta do is kill that coil and then just reach down and pull it again. Alright, well, here we go. New fuel line is in, and it's just part of the coil still. I have a filter, and so once I get the shroud back on, get the throttle all hooked back up and air cleaner, all that stuff, I'll put the tank back, and then I'll decide where I can cut the fuel line in order to install the filter and keep that shut off on the tank. I'm really just curious on how far I can push this thing. Now that it's got an air filter, I really don't think that there's any concern with this being a dedicated plow machine, other than the fact that I have no electrical. If I could figure out a way to add an alternator or generator and a battery somewhere, not there, that's been cut off, but somewhere, have some type of a storage source of power. I'd love to have some lights, something that is not something I have to charge constantly or whatever the case may be. I think that'll do. So I've got new fuel line that isn't leaking, and I can actually leave the petcock on and have no leaks. So my passes in the furrow per gallon, I think, just increased a little bit. That's good.